Dundee United are showing signs of recapturing the form which won them the Scottish Cup last season. They moved up to 4th in the SPL by beating Kilmarnock at Rugby Park. There was a touch of good fortune about the way their opening goal came about. Paul Dixon getting the break of the ball off Craig Bryson, and it landed at the feet of David Goodwillie. His scoring shot looked to have a bit of the Ryder Cup about it. Chipped perfectly over Cammy Bell for 1-0. He has that happy knack, Goodwillie, of being in the right place at the right time. He's scored in United's last 3 games. This was Kilmarnock's response to going a goal down. David De Silva took a pot shot at goal, a powerful strike which Dusan Pernis was happy to claw away from under his crossbar. Jamie Hamill's cross came off Dixon's arm. A good hit from De Silva, but the Killie fans were making a noise about the penalty they reckoned should have been given for handball. United were always a threat in attack. Scott Severin picked out Sean Dillon. He got the ball back from Scott Robertson and then crossed for David Robertson to launch himself at a diving header. All that needed was a touch, and he wasn't far from getting it after a well-timed run into the box. The outcome of the match could have been different had Kilmarnock taken this chance to equalise. Hamill, full of energy, played a 1-2 with Alexei Yeremenko and cut the ball back for skipper Bryson. A bad miss, which he was only too well aware of. Great set-up work before Bryson dragged his shot wide of target. And Killie were about to pay for that. Dixon's free kick was knocked down by Severin, and United captain John Daly had all the time he wanted to turn and poke the ball past Bell. 69 minutes played, 2-0 United, lots of defenders around the ball, none of them could stop Daly scoring. Kilmarnock defender Fraser Wright didn't help his team in the closing stages as they tried to rescue something from the game. He was about to be booked for that late challenge as Yeremenko played in Connor Salmon for a shot that went just wide. Salmon, like most others in the ground, probably couldn't believe advantage had been played after United's Prince Boabin was taken out and Killie proceeded to have a chance on goal. And in the midst of all that, a yellow card for Wright. Another yellow followed. He didn't fancy that challenge from Morgaro Gomes, which sparked a United attack, and once he'd sprinted back in a vain attempt to catch Goodwillie and stop the shot which Bell saved, Wright had a verbal blast at referee John McKendrick and barely paused for the red card which he knew was coming his way. What he missed was Kilmarnock scoring a goal which was far too late to have any impact on the result. 4 minutes into stoppage time when Rui Miguel crossed for De Silva to set up Salmon, and at least the home team were on the score sheet, even if this was never going to deny United all 3 points and serve notice that they're on the way back. Hibs picked up 3 points on the opening weekend of the SPL season and haven't won since. Beaten by St Johnstone at McDermott Park, they've dropped to second bottom of the league. Saints could have been ahead in the first half when from Danny Granger's free kick, Mark Brown tipped Michael Duberry's header onto the bar. The former Chelsea defender's header was dipping in until the keeper's crucial touch. Finding good Hibs scoring chances is difficult. They didn't really have any. This was David Weatherspoon's defence-splitting pass which saw the offside flag go up against Derek Riordan. It was a frustrating day for John Hughes and company. The Hibs fans are becoming increasingly impatient. The Perth team had to wait till the last quarter of an hour to make their breakthrough. A flashing header from Liam Craig on the end of Granger's pacey delivery from the corner kick. Substitute Craig had been on the pitch for less than 15 minutes. Another sub, Marcus Haber, had a big impact in the closing stages as well. Chris Miller to Alan Maybury at full stretch, and his looping cross found the head of Haber. Brown made the save, and Maybury's follow-up missed the target by a long way. He did well though with the up and under, which gave Haber the chance to work the goalkeeper. Brown didn't stand a chance in stoppage time after Francis Dicko missed a long ball down the middle, and on loan West Brom striker Haber scored St Johnstone's second. 2 SPL wins in their last 3 games for Saints. Hibs, who started last season so well, are now operating at the other end of the table. Inverness moved their SPL total into double figures with the defeat of Mark McGee's Aberdeen, who won their first 2 games of the season and have taken 1 point out of a possible 15 since. They should have been encouraged by their performance against Rangers the previous weekend, and one of the scorers in that game, Scott Vernon, had a chance in Inverness to add to his impressive Aberdeen tally so far, missing the target from Darren Mackey's cross. A good early ball in from Mackey, and Inverness defender Graham Shinney made sure Vernon couldn't get a clear header on target. The goal which gave Caley Thistle the lead in the 19th minute had a touch of good fortune about it, although it underlined the developing talent of winger Johnny Hayes. He jinked away from Andy Considine and planted the ball in the top corner. His reaction told all. What was meant as a cross to the far post had turned into the most perfect chip over the goalkeeper for 1-0. Hayes' old-fashioned wing play is great to watch, unless you're Considine, and it was a lovely delivery, even if it wasn't intended as a shot on goal. Into the second half, and Inverness could have increased their advantage as Hayes thumped the ball downfield for Adam Rooney to chase. It shouldn't have been a serious problem for Aberdeen defender Gerald Eiffel to deal with until that deadly delay which allowed Rooney to rob him of the ball, then slice his shot wide. A great chance for 2-0. He knew he should have shot across the keeper after brushing aside Eiffel. Unlucky was Aberdeen's Michael Payton, although he did have a golden chance to level things up. Mackey's pass inside Duff set up Mitch Megginson with a chance to cross, and Payton, having climbed so well for the header, then directed it pretty much straight at Ryan Essen. In a match of few cast iron scoring opportunities, that was certainly one. Essen immediately punted the ball down the pitch. Skipper Zander Diamond firstly allowed the kick out to bounce, then tried to chest the ball back to keeper Mark Howard. Rooney read the script and scored the goal which effectively killed the game. A bad mistake by Diamond which allowed the game to slip out of Aberdeen's reach. Great goal poaching from Rooney for newly promoted Caley Thistle's first home win of the season. 10 points from 7 games will gladden the heart of Terry Butcher. The match only got worse for Aberdeen manager McGee, already without a handful of key players. He saw Payton sent off for allegedly stamping on the grounded Hayes. Referee Callum Murray was in no doubt that was a red card offence. The Aberdeen players didn't seem to share his view, and there did seem to be an absence of malice. Off went Payton, and it finished 2-0 Inverness. The full weekend story: Celtic go top of the SPL on goal difference after recovering from an early scare against Hamilton. Rangers are the stars of another late show, this time at Tynecastle, to match Celtic's 7 wins out of 7. Motherwell stay third after beating St Mirren at Fir Park to record their first home win of the season. Dundee United are up to 4th with back-to-back wins, the latest at Kilmarnock. Caley Thistle win their first points in Inverness, beating Aberdeen to move their SPL total into double figures. And St Johnstone get their second SPL win of the season to leave Hibs second bottom. Matchday 7 results in the Clydesdale Bank Premier League went like this. Celtic 3-1 winners at home to Hamilton. Rangers beat Hearts 2-1 at Tynecastle. It was Inverness 2, Aberdeen 0. Dundee United beat Kilmarnock 2-1 at Rugby Park. Motherwell had a 3-1 home win against St Mirren. St Johnstone beat Hibs 2-0. The Old Firm have still to drop a point. 7 straight wins each. Celtic edge it on goal difference. Motherwell are next best on 13 points. Dundee United have 11. Inverness move on to 10. Hearts stay on 8. Aberdeen, Kilmarnock and St Johnstone are on 7. Hibs and Hamilton have 5. St Mirren bottom on 4. After the international break, here's how the SPL resumes. Saturday for Aberdeen against Hearts. Hibs play Kilmarnock. Inverness at home to St Johnstone. Rangers against Motherwell. St Mirren versus Hamilton. And the Sunday match sees Dundee United face Celtic. When we're next with you, you'll see all the SPL action.